the governance concept will be presenting by Mr. Samen. Yes, Mr. Samen, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Bang Pei. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here again. This is my second presentation. So the previous group was advanced financial reporting, and now I'm here, ethics and governance. I believe, I hope that in my topic here will cover some of the Dr. George's question, in terms of like why the same ethic but different people are practiced differently. That's because of the corporate governance, right? That's because of the system itself, whether there's a full function of the system or not full function of the system. So I believe that it cover something here, especially the hierarchy of the power, also part of it, I believe. Okay, next please, Bob. So what is the corporate governance here? So corporate governance refer to a system of rule, practice, and processes by which a company is directed or controlled or held accountable. So it establishes a framework by achieving a company's objective while balancing the interests of the various stakeholders. So it is very important, not only achieving the company objective, but also balancing all stakeholder interests, including protecting employee benefit or whatever. A key component, corporate governance involves structure like board of director, process for decision making, and risk management, and principle of the accountability, transparency, fairness, and responsibility. The important, so what's the importance of the corporate governance? Effective corporate governance ensure that the company operate ethically, transparently, and in compliance with law and regulation, promoting a trust and sustainable growth. So the key element of the corporate governance. So I will bring 4 key elements here. First of all is the board of director. So board will oversee management, set direction, and ensure accountability to the shareholder and stakeholder. Second, the shareholder rights. So one of the element is shareholder right. Shareholder has the right to vote on key issue and decision, and treat equality to protect their interests. And the third one is the accountability and transparency. So it's very important element. A company must provide accurate information to stakeholder, build trust, and reducing risk of frauds. And the last one is the risk management. So effective corporate governance include identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks that impact the company's performance and reputation. Next, please, ma'am. So the importance of the corporate governance. So I will have 5 elements here in terms of the importance of the corporate governance. One is improve financial performance. Of course, having a good corporate governance, we believe that it will improve the performance, improve the financial performance. Secondly, improve the performance. So performance here means contributed to sustainable growth. We have more clients or retain the client rather than finding the new client all the time. That's another important. The third one is encourage long-term growth. We just discussed about Trump policy, where maybe a short-term growth is achieved, but a long-term and sustainability growth might be not achieved. So that's also, that's the point we need to tell Trump maybe. And the third one is enhance accountability. So we know that having a proper corporate governance will enhance accountability within the practice. The fourth one, next one. The last one is ensure regulatory compliant. So this also linked to Dr. Jo's question, right? Why some country not implemented, although there is ethic behavior already. The thing is regulatory compliant, or the thing is the court system. Let's say the court system, is there a proper court system in some country? Why people are required to comply? Because cost of those legal issue is very, very expensive. That's why everyone need to comply with the regulation. Next, please. So the consequence of the poor corporate governance. So what are the consequences if we not comply, or if we do not have a proper corporate governance? So fraud and corruption. Of course, there will be fraud and corruption if one person take the whole decision, for example. Secondly, will be loss on shareholder trust. The shareholder will not trust management anymore, or we cannot have another shareholder. We can invest. We cannot find more capital or something like that. The third one is financial loss. Of course, it will be lost in the company. The third one is legal and regulatory penalty. So like what I just shared earlier, regulatory penalty are big things, especially in the developed country, where in the poor country, those penalty are still small. That's why people can not do it. Next, please. So just bring an attention of the nature of the corporation, right? So that we are aware. First, the corporation first is the separate legal entity. A corporation is distinct legal entity from the owner, allowing it own property, enter into contract, and engage in illegal action. So this separation provide advantage in legal and financial operation, ensure defined right and responsibility. The second one is limit liability. So here it just said raised about shareholder liability. I mean, the liability are only to the amount of share the owner has, not to the personal property. And the third one is perpetual existence. Perpetual existence here refer to all those we change shareholder, or there's a death of the shareholder, the company continue anyway. So it's continuing without stopping. And the fourth one is centralized management. So we have so corporation refer to centralized management with a board of director, management, all of that to ensure that it grows. Next, please. So division of corporate power. So here we talk about a power. It's very important to understand power. First of all, shareholder. So the shareholder who elect the board and vote for major decision. This one big power. Secondly is the power of the board director. So board director will oversee and set strategic direction. The board is also responsible for ensuring that the company is managed in the best interest of the shareholder. And the third one of the power is the management and officer. So management includes CEO, CFO, all people working. They are handle day-to-day operation and implement strategic management. And so they are the one who implements day-to-day operations. So understanding the corporate power is very important. Understand it and also practice it is also very important. Next. So in the corporate governance, we want to bring attention also to agency theory. There's a lot of I mean, we need to understand agency so that we can comply or obey carefully. So agency theory examine the relationship between principal, which is the shareholder, and the agent, manager, the CEO, CFO, everyone called agent. So the key concept here is that principal agent relation. The key concept here is that core dynamic where party and agent act on behalf of another, which is the principal. The information asymmetry, information that is never clear is that an agent, a CEO, let's say, often have a more information than the principal, creating opportunity for a self-serving behavior. Moral hazard, the risk of an agent that will act irresponsible because of they be less and consequent of the principle. And then agency costs. So we need to understand also what are the agency costs. Expense will incur in terms of monitoring and controlling agent behavior, such as auditing, executive compensation, all of forth. Implication, the agency theory have explained managerial behavior, the need for the governance mechanism, and the importance of aligning interests between shareholder and management. Effective governance structures such as independent board and performance-based compensation can help align this interest and reduce agency costs. So next is addressing the agency problem. I mean, agency is the management team. So how can we, I mean, we need to understand some agency problem here. So incentive alignment. So to ensure that we don't have a problem with that is incentive alignment. So align compensation with shareholder interests, such as granting stock option, performance-based bonus, motivation manager to make a decision that increase the shareholder value. So here just I mean, whatever bonus, maybe we can give as a stock option rather than a real bonus within the period. Next is monitoring implementation, robust oversight mechanism, including independent board, director, internal and external audit, all of that we need to monitor from time to time to address the agency problem. The third one is the shareholder rights. So empowering shareholder through enhanced participation in decision-making process, such as voting, all of that. And the fourth one is the legal framework. So establish and enforcing law and regulation that protect shareholder interests, all of that addressing the agency problem. Next one. So key feature of the corporate governance. So one is the separate ownership and control. So shareholder own the corporation, but delegate control to the board and the management, right? And the next one is the hierarchy structure. So clear level of authority from shareholder, board to management and employee. The third one is the limit liability. So shareholder personal asset protected from the corporate liability. So it's not liable to personal assets. And the last one is transfer of share, right? Ownership can be easily transferred within the effective operation. Characteristic of the duty of the director. So we bring some characteristic and some duty of the director here. So fiduciary role, the law, director must act in the best interest of the corporation and the shareholder, place in their interest of above personal gain. Independent, director should be independent from management, provided the objective oversight and decision making. Diverse expert. So also good characteristic of the director is we need to be diverse. You know, we have a team which is very expert in finance, accounting. Also have a team that expert in marketing, sale, all of that. So need to be diverse. Collective decision making. So decisions are made collectively, ensure that the different perspectives are considered and promote robust governance. So key duty here, there are 4 key duty. First is the duty of care. So the director must exercise reasonably care and diligent in their decision making. Second one is duty of loyalty. The director must act honestly in the best interest of the corporation, avoiding conflict of interest. Third one is duty of act in the good faith. So similar to loyalty, good faith, director have to respect to the act with honesty, integrity, and ethical, very important. And then the last one is duty of oversight. The director have the responsibility to oversee the corporation activity ensure compliance and risk management. So the last one is responsibility. Director is responsible for setting strategic direction. They also ensure compliance with law and regulation. And additionally, director play vital role in protecting the interests of the shareholder. Next one. So the duty of the corporate officer. So we bring some component here like CEO. They responsible for overall management, implementation of board strategy, and representing the corporation. Secondly is the CFO. So manage a finance activity, ensure compliance and accounting standard, oversight financial reporting. The CFO also looking at budget planning, risk management within the company. The COO oversight day-to-day operation, implementing operational strategy, ensure efficiency. And the last one is the general counsel. We don't see much in Cambodia, but in developed country, general counsel or legal counsel is very, very important. So advise on legal matter, ensure compliance, and manage the legal risks. Next slide, Mom. So international approach in corporate governance. There are three international approach to the corporate governance. One is the Anglo-American model. And the second one is the continental European model. Next one. And then the third one is the Asian model. You will see these three differences in the next slide. Compare. Let's go to the next one, Bob. So the comparison is here, like in terms of focus, Anglo-American model focus on shareholder value, where continental European model focus on shareholder increase, and then Asian model more kind of the family-based. And the board structure, Anglo-American model like a single tier, a continental European two-tier, and Asian is it's not fixed. Ownership, diverse, concentrate for essential and Asian one. Decision making for Anglo-American market driven, while continental European shareholder driven, and Asian one consensus. So I can differentiate a little bit market driven and shareholder driven, right? So it's more sustained if we act according to the market, but it's less profitable or sustainable if we act according to only shareholder driven. And then in terms of transparency, that's why Anglo-American are high transparency, while continental are moderate, and Asian model one are very low. Investor influence, the Anglo-American one is strong, continental European moderate, and Asian model are limited. In terms of common country and practice, so Anglo-American including US, UK, Canada, Australia, where continental European model are German, France, and Netherlands, and Asian one American, Japan, China, and South Korea. So you see, this is the Asian one. Okay, so next will be international governance framework. I think we have discussed a little bit already which framework can be complied. So in terms of the corporate governance here, we have OECD principle. We have international corporate governance network. We have sustainable development goal, and we have global reporting initiative, where these four entities, we need to look at it and comply, and because those give a lot of elements for us to practice. Next slide. The principle of robust governance in public sector and private sector, right? So even in the public sector, entity encompass government department, agency, and state-owned are required to deliver an essential public service, implementation policy and achieving. That's why they need to have a good corporate governance. And then non-corporate entity, so non-profit organization, also need to comply with a corporate governance one. And the importance of the corporate governance here Robert, are very critical, ensuring accountability, transparency. Next, please, Bo. So it's very important, right, for non-profit here to ensure that the accountability and transparency are practiced within their organization. So principle of the robust governance in public and non-corporate here. So I will go very fast. Accountability, answerable to stakeholder. It's very important. Second one is the transparency, open access to information. It's very important. The third one is ethical conduct. By having a good corporate governance, having an ethical conduct to there. And then stakeholder engagement, and the last one is the efficiency in terms of resource implementation, resource usage. Next slide is the challenge in implementing robust governance. First is diverse stakeholders, so balancing vary by stakeholder interest, demand, skill, negotiation and incentive decision. Limit resources, budget constraint can impact the robust oversight capacity of the building. Bureaucracy, also another challenge if there's a bureaucracy behavior. Lack of experience is another challenge, because we are talk about diverse, but if there's lack of experience, then we can't have a diverse. Existence of change, some people don't want to change, also another issue of the implementation. Next is applying the corporate governance code and principle, right? So establish a governance framework, very important. Board compensation, so we need to build a diverse independent of board. And then third one is the risk management, so implement a strong risk management and internal control. The fourth one is transparency, being transparency, accuracy within the information. And then the last one is the ethical conduct. We need to cultivate integrity and ethics throughout the organization. So we talk about integrity. We talk about ethic. Otherwise we have it and we don't implement it. Last of my slide is benefit of robust governance. So again, build confidence among stakeholders, include investor, employee, and public. The second one is improve performance, so contributed to better decision, risk management, and oversight organizational behavior. While the last one is the risk mitigation, so reduce likelihood of fraud, mismanagement, and reputation damage. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Handsome Man on Samen, for your comprehensive briefing on the governance concept. Now, I would like to open the floor to any question that we might have from our professors. Thank you.
Well, can we do another module together, because governance in practice is good as well and very similar, and then save time, and then we can discuss the case study later.
Sure. Let me check if Bombalan is here already. Bombalan, are you here?
Yes, Payne. Can you hear me well? Because I'm in the car moving, so maybe the noise of a moving car may disturb you guys there.
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you very well. So let's move to the next one on the governance in practice.